Good day, everyone, and thank you for joining us. Today, we have a conversation with Eyal Sheratzky, who is the co-CEO of Ituran. Eyal, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Ed.
First of all, could you start by explaining a bit about Ituran? Tell us what the company does and tell us about some of the products and services.
Ituran is the largest vehicle telematics service provider in the world. We provide car owners and car fleet owners a full range of services related to managing their vehicle, which ultimately lowers the cost of ownership of the car. For example, stolen vehicle recovery services, which is a large portion of our services. We have a one-stop solution which includes hardware and software, as well as providing the full services to our customers. By the way, our customers include B2B, business to business, and business to consumers, B2C, businesses such as insurance companies, car dealers, car manufacturers, finance banks, and large fleets. We also have close to 2.4 million subscribers, which are the consumers that use our various solutions for their cars. We actually a one-stop shop. Our advantage is that we develop our own hardware and software, and we have our own control and service centers, as well as our own enforcement and vehicle recovery teams. Also, we have our own installers. As a 30 years old company, we have a lot of experience and proven track record that attract customers and know-how of recovering the car. As an example, we know that for the favelas in Brazil is a very violent area, and this is something that we do for more than 20 years, recover cars from the favelas. We also build and develop our own technology. And another example is that we embedded our AI software inside the unit of Ituran, and we know most of the times where the car is being stolen much before the car owner itself realizes it. So this is basically what Ituran is doing.
Thank you. Could you explain your business model, how you make money, and what your main sources of revenue are?
Our main source of revenue is the recurring revenues that comes from our 2.4 almost million subscribers. But we have two total sources of revenue. First, we are selling our end unit, which is our proprietary technology, and we install it in the car. Second, as I mentioned, we are charging monthly fees. It's a recurring revenues, and since we have 2.4 million subscribers that pay those monthly fees, 70% of our total revenues comes from this segment.
Thanks. Could you talk about the growth drivers for the business? What is behind the growth in your business?
Insurance companies as well as car owners, they are looking for confidence. They are looking to reduce the risk. So when we have a solution that can recover the cars, as an example, so they need our solution. Also, when we talk about another solution that we provide, it's a usage-based insurance, UBI, also it's answered the same driver, to reduce the risk of the drivers. So mainly we provide confidence, we provide security. Another customer that it's important to mention is the banks that provide loans for car buyers, and they want something to secure their collateral, so they use our technology, they use our services in order to secure it. So this is the main drivers. Another driver, I would say, is we know that fleet owners and fleet managers looks for more efficiency, looks more for more profitability, and with our fleet management tools, they can reach it.
Thank you. What about the geographic distribution? Can you talk about the main countries that you operate in and how they differ?
Absolutely. Our geographical split is as follows. Israel represents about 50%, Brazil about 25%, and 25% from the rest of the world, which includes mainly Mexico, United States, and a few other countries in Latin America. I want to mention that Israel and Brazil main focus is on the retail customer, and this provide more growth potential, and as you can see, it represents 75% of the total revenues of Ituran. Also, the OEM segment, which we see increased interest from international car brands, which we believe will support our growth in existing and new countries in Latin America. Our strategy is to meet the local needs and the drivers that derive from each geography, as it is an independent operation, while at the same time we make our solution built from modules that can be added or removed from the black box we fix for each geography.
Great. Could you talk about some of the key financial metrics and performance metrics that you track and that should be a focus for investors who are looking at your company?
Since we are having an ARR SaaS kind of model, I would recommend them to focus on our growth in our EBIT and EBITDA. Also, the growth in subscribers, which provide high visibility for the next quarter year results. Also, our recurring revenue model provide high visibility for investors, and that's important for their confidence. Our high positive cash flow and the strong balance sheet is also important factors for investors when trying to assess the risk of the business. Since we have an operating leverage inherent in our model, we are expecting our margins to grow over time. I'm expecting that the 21% EBIT and 27% EBITDA will continue to grow toward 24% and 30% in the next few years. Due to the operating leverage in our model, every new incremental dollar from subscriber contributes more than 70% to the gross profit.
That's great. And just to clarify, ARR recurs to annualized recurring revenues, which is the characteristic of a subscription business.
Yes.
I wanted to move on to the competitive environment and get an understanding of how you view your competition and how you differentiate from your competition.
So Ituran is a one-stop shop, as I said. Our advantage is that we develop our own hardware and software. We have our own control and service center, as well as our own enforcement and installation teams. Everything done in-house, internally, and we have full control on it. As a 30 years old company, we have a lot of experience and a proven track record that attract customers. Also, we are a mature company that succeed to become market leader in almost every geography that we operate. And that creates a strong brand position of Ituran and high confidence by the market.
Great. So when we move on to some of the risks that you look at when you're managing the business, what are some of the key risks or concerns that you think about every day for the business?
The main risk in Ituran is since the main assets, it's the customer base, as I said, 2.4 million, growing almost 30 years constantly. So the main risk is a higher customer churn and also losing competitive advantages as a result of market share. This is something that we put a lot of efforts and most of our resources in order to do. So we always spend high resources on customer retention and excellent services and customer satisfaction in order to keep competitive advantage We also build an innovation division, searching for technologies, ideas, and it is complemented by our strong R&D capabilities, exactly like a high-tech company. A lot of technology people and a lot of technology knowledge integrated in our solutions in order to be always on the front of the industry.
Thank you. Let's move on to how management looks at the return of value to shareholders. What's your philosophy of regarding shareholder returns and growth and allocation of capital?
So our shareholders are the owners. So we have to maximize the value we create for them. And this is our main goal. Just to add that my family and I founded the company 30 years ago, and we are still the largest shareholder. So as I manage the company's goal, value creation for shareholder is a top priority for me. I believe that in order to create value to shareholders, company has to maximize its profit and growth. We do it organically, but we always look for opportunities to complement by acquisition. We did it in 2018 when we acquired Roadtrack for $100 million, and we will continue to look for more opportunities as long as our positive and strong balance sheet support it. As long as we generate cash every quarter and we don't find the right target to acquire, we always share this value with our shareholders by allocating high dividends or through a buyback. Up until today, since 2005, we paid dividend and buyback of about $500 million. Currently, by the way, Ituran's dividend policy is to pay at least $8 million every quarter or $32 million annually, which currently represent about 6% dividend yield. We are currently stopping our buyback program after buying back not less than 15% of the shares of the company.
Great. Now, there's an aspect of the story that maybe a lot of people are not focused on, which is that Ituran has an investment in a company called Bring. Could you talk about your Bring investment?
Yes, it's very important to mention because those are hidden assets in the balance sheet. By the way, I think we have two of them. The first one, as you said, is our investment in Bring, a SaaS company which provides unique and high-end software for the last mile delivery needs. A tech company which we hold 17% of its shares, while the last financing round was about 2 years ago in a valuation of $1 billion led by Insight Partners. The value of this investment in Ituran balance sheet is zero. So there is a lot of bonus to expect when we will liquid these investments. And the second one is our investment in Drive, a mobility tech incubator and a venture capital, which expose Ituran to almost every new idea and startup in the sector of mobility in Israel, as well as allocation of shares, which we believe that along the year will include some quotation and IPOs and acquisition, will also provide capital gains that will flow into Ituran's results.
Great. Could you share the long-term vision for Ituran? Where do you hope to take the company over the long term?
First of all, as much as we can, but to be more practically, I think that we all here are working in order to achieve the first goals for the next few years is to reach 3 million subscribers before 2030, to reach an EBIT margin of 25%. Today, we are close to 21%, and thanks to the operating leverage inherent to our business, I believe that it's something that's achievable, and also make additional one acquisition, material acquisition at least, in the next 3 to 5 years.
Great. Well, I think we've reached about the end of their time, so I'd want to just ask you to share any closing thoughts and any areas where you believe that investors should focus on when they're looking at Ituran.
I think that Ituran as something very unique compared to other industries and companies. Ituran is a growing company for almost 30 years. Our operating leverage model and subscriber base allow us to continue our growth. But on the other hand, not as other tech and growth companies that usually leverage their growth or are not getting to the point of profits yearly as Ituran. Ituran also has a strong balance sheet, making a lot of cash. And so I think that the combination between value and growth is something very unique, which I think that investors should pay attention to this issue with Ituran.
Great. Well, thank you very much for sharing your time. We've been speaking with Eyal Sheratzky, who's the co-CEO of Ituran. I'm Ed McGuire, Director of Research at Freedom here, and we want to thank everyone for taking the time to share this conversation. Wishing you a great day.
Thank you.